There are moments in life when rejection feels like a crushing weight, a door slammed in your face, a voice whispering that you are not enough. But what if I told you that rejection is not your enemy? It is your guide. What if I told you that behind every no lies a greater yes, and behind every closed door lies a pathway that only God Himself could open? Rejection is not the end of your story. It is the hand of God shaping your destiny. It is His way of redirecting you from where you thought you belonged to where you are truly meant to be. Too often we beg for acceptance, we crave approval, we long for doors to open, forgetting that not every opportunity is meant for us, not every relationship is aligned with our calling, not every stage is built for our voice. When rejection comes, it is not a curse, it is a blessing disguised in pain. You see, when God allows rejection, He's protecting you from what you cannot see. That job you didn't get, that relationship that fell apart, that opportunity that slipped through your fingers. They are not accidents. They are divine redirection. God knows the battles ahead, the hidden dangers, the traps laid out of sight. And so He says no, not to harm you, but to shield you, to guide you, to lift you towards something greater than what you imagine. Think of the countless times you thought you knew best, only to look back years later and thank God for not giving you what you asked for. That's the mystery of rejection. It stings in the moment, but it saves you in the long run. Rejection clears the path of distraction. It cuts away what would slow you down. It strips you of the things that were never meant to carry you into your destiny. And though it feels like loss, it is the first step toward gain. Rejection is not about who turns you away. It is about where God is turning you toward. Every no is an arrow pointing you in the right direction. Every closed door is an invitation to knock on another, one designed for you. Every person who walks away is making room for someone better suited for your journey. And every failed attempt is teaching you resilience, sharpening your character, and strengthening your faith. Do not waste time dwelling on who rejected you, who doubted you, who walked away. Do not let bitterness poison your heart or disappointment cloud your vision. Instead, stand tall in the knowledge that God's plan is always greater than man's opinion. Trust that His rejection is never cruelty. It is redirection. It is Him whispering, "Child, I have more for you. Do not settle here when I have prepared something greater." Rejection is a teacher. It teaches you patience. It teaches you trust. It teaches you that your worth is not defined by who accepts you, but by the one who created you. And when you finally understand this truth, rejection no longer breaks you. It builds you. It no longer defeats you. It directs you. So the next time life says no, do not bow your head in despair. Lift your eyes to the heavens and say, "Thank you, God, for protecting me, for guiding me, for redirecting me." For every rejection is not a barrier, but a bridge. Not an ending, but a beginning. Not a loss, but a redirection toward greater things. Now is the time to let go of the pain of rejection and embrace the promise of redirection. Do not cling to what has left you. Prepare for what is coming. Do not dwell on closed doors. Seek the ones God is opening. Do not measure your worth by those who said no. Measure it by the one who is leading you into a future beyond your imagination. Trust the redirection, because it is taking you exactly where you are meant to be. Rejection is one of the most painful experiences a human being can endure. It strikes at the very core of who we are, making us question our worth, our abilities, and even our future. Whether it comes in the form of a job opportunity denied, a relationship that crumbles, or a dream that seems to shatter before our eyes. Rejection leaves us feeling abandoned and small. But the truth that often hides beneath the sting is this: rejection is not your enemy. It is God's protection and redirection. What feels like loss in your hands is victory in His plan. What feels like the end of your journey is only the beginning of a new path. Rejection is not random. It is not the cruel accident of fate or the careless disregard of people. Rejection is carefully allowed by the one who sees what you cannot see. He knows the doors that lead to dead ends, the relationships that would suffocate your spirit, the opportunities that would derail your purpose. And so he closes doors that your heart wanted open. He allows people to walk away whom you thought you could not live without. And he blocks opportunities that you believed were your only chance at success. To you, it feels like devastation. To him, it is protection. He is not rejecting you. He is redirecting you. When you face rejection, it is natural to feel unworthy, to think something must be wrong with you. But rejection is not about your worth. It is about alignment. It is not about who you are, but about where you are going. God will never let you settle in a place beneath your calling. He will never let you cling to someone who cannot walk with you into the destiny he designed. And when you do not have the strength to let go, he will sometimes let rejection pry your hands open so that you can finally be free. That pain you feel is not punishment, it is pruning. It is God cutting away what does not belong so that what does belong can grow. Think of it this way: if you were walking through a dark forest, unable to see the traps ahead, wouldn't you want someone to stop you before you stumbled? That is what God does through rejection. He closes the door before you step into danger. He pulls people out of your life before they can destroy your peace. He keeps opportunities from reaching you because they would have chained you to something smaller than what he has in store. In the moment, all you see is the no, but in time, you will look back and see the wisdom of his protection. Rejection also redirects your focus. Sometimes we grow so fixated on what we want that we fail to see what we need. We pray for things that are beneath us, chase after people who do not value us, and beg for doors that lead nowhere. God in his mercy refuses to let us settle. Rejection turns your eyes away from what is not meant for you and toward the greater things he has prepared. It pushes you out of places of comfort and into places of growth. It reminds you that your story is not defined by human approval, but by divine purpose. And while the sting of rejection may last for a season, the fruit of redirection lasts for a lifetime. Every time you thought you lost, you were being positioned. Every time you felt abandoned, you were being guided. Every time you heard no, heaven was preparing a better yes. What you once called rejection, you will one day call protection. What you once thought was the end, you will one day recognize as the turning point that sets you on the path to your destiny. Closed doors often feel like defeat, but in truth they are hidden blessings. They are God's way of guiding you away from what you thought was right toward what is truly meant for you. We live in a world where we believe that every opportunity must be seized, that every door we knock on should open, and that every path we step on should lead us to where we dream of going. But the reality is, not every door is designed for you. Not every opportunity is aligned with your purpose, and not every path leads to the destiny God has planned. Closed doors are not your punishment. They are your protection. When a door shuts, it often feels like failure. The job you prayed for doesn't come through. The relationship you invested in suddenly collapses. The plan you worked so hard to build crumbles in your hands. In the moment, it feels as though the world has turned its back on you. But that closed door is not evidence that you are unworthy. It is evidence that God has something better. He knows what lies beyond the threshold of every opportunity. He sees the outcomes you cannot, the dangers you cannot, the heartbreaks you cannot. And so in his wisdom, he closes doors to save you from walking into a future that was never meant for you. Closed doors clear the path. Imagine if every opportunity you wanted was granted, if every person you desired stayed, if every plan you made worked exactly as you imagined. Your life would be overflowing with distractions, cluttered with people and pursuits that only weigh you down. Closed doors are God's way of simplifying your path, of removing what does not belong so that what truly matters can remain. They are not delays, but redirections. They are the way He ensures that you do not waste your time climbing ladders leaned against the wrong walls. Think back on your own life. How many times did you feel devastated when a door shut, only to look back years later with gratitude? The job you didn't get made room for the career you never expected. The person who walked away opened your heart for the one who was truly meant to stay. The plan that failed cleared the way for something greater, something you never would have considered if that door had remained open. That is the blessing of closed doors. They push you into places you never imagined, but places that were always destined for you. And while it is painful to face a door that will not open, it is even more painful to walk through one that was never meant for you. Not every open door is a good door. Some doors lead to compromise, others to heartbreak, others to distraction. And so God, in His love, shuts them. He spares you from opportunities that would shrink your potential, from people who would drain your spirit, from paths that would lead you away from your purpose. What feels like rejection in the moment is in truth divine protection for the life ahead. Closed doors also teach you patience. They remind you that timing matters, that not every blessing is meant for today, and that waiting is not a punishment, but preparation. Sometimes a door is shut, not because it is wrong, but because the time is not yet right. And when the right season arrives, the same door that once resisted you will swing wide open, not by your strength, but by God's hand. Until then, the closed door becomes a lesson in trust, teaching you that God's no always leads to a greater yes. So every time you face a closed door, remember, it is not the end of the road. It is a divine redirection. It is God whispering, not here, not now, not with them. I have something greater for you. And while you may not see it today, one day you will look back and realize that every closed door was actually a hidden blessing that guided you to the life you were always meant to live. Rejection has a way of breaking pride, of softening hearts, and of shaping character in ways that comfort never could. When everything goes according to plan, when doors open easily, when approval flows freely, it is easy to believe you are in control. But when rejection arrives, suddenly you are reminded of your humanity, your dependence, and your need to trust in something greater than yourself. Rejection teaches resilience, patience, and trust in God's plan, lessons that no victory can fully impart. Resilience is born in the fire of rejection. Each time you are told no, each time someone walks away, each time your efforts seem wasted, something inside you grows stronger. You learn that your worth is not diminished by others' opinions. You learn that failure is not fatal, that a closed door is not the end of your journey. Rejection forces you to rise, to adapt, to keep going even when the path is not clear. Like a tree that grows stronger roots in the midst of storms, rejection drives you deeper into determination. It whispers that you are tougher than you realize, that you can endure more than you imagined, and that the story is not over simply because this chapter closed. Patience, too, is shaped by rejection. When life denies you what you wanted, you are forced to wait, to slow down, to accept that timing is not always in your control. Waiting humbles you, waiting tests you, waiting teaches you that rushing can lead you into the wrong places and the wrong people. Rejection is not a delay meant to punish you, but a delay meant to prepare you. It stretches your perspective, teaching you that what is worth having is worth waiting for, and that sometimes the very thing you were denied is not truly lost. It is simply not yet ready. Patience grows in those quiet moments after rejection. in the silence where you have nothing but hope to hold on to. Trust is perhaps the greatest lesson rejection teaches. When a door shuts, when a dream fails, when a person rejects you, you have two choices: to believe you are abandoned, or to believe you are being guided. Trust says, even though I don't understand this now, I know God's hand is in it. Trust says, even when it hurts, I believe this pain is not wasted. Trust shifts your focus from the closed door to the one who holds the keys. It releases control from your hands and places it into His, acknowledging that your path is greater when He is the author of it. Rejection trains your heart to lean not on your own understanding but on faith, knowing that God's wisdom exceeds your own. When you combine resilience, patience, and trust, you are transformed. Rejection no longer has the power to break you. It has the power to build you. You are no longer a victim of circumstances, but a student of them. You begin to see rejection not as a wall blocking your way, but as a compass pointing you toward the right direction. The pain that once made you question yourself now becomes the very force that strengthens your spirit. And the waiting that once felt unbearable now becomes a testimony of God's timing. In time, rejection becomes a gift. It is the refining fire that burns away false attachments. It is the pruning knife that cuts away dead branches so new growth can emerge. It is the shaping hand of God molding you into someone stronger, wiser, and more prepared for the blessings to come. Rejection is never wasted. It is always working something inside of you that will one day align perfectly with the greater plan written for your life. When rejection happens, it does not simply mean an opportunity has ended. It often means a better one is being prepared. Life is not random, and the setbacks you face are not meaningless detours. Rejection is often the signal that a greater door is about to open, one that aligns more perfectly with your purpose, your calling, and your destiny. What you thought was a loss is often a hidden blessing, a divine redirection that is steering you into something far greater than you could have imagined on your own. The pain of being turned away is not meant to leave you broken, but to position you for breakthroughs that are waiting just ahead. Think of the times you wanted something so badly, a job you thought would secure your future, a relationship you believed would complete you, a dream you thought was the pinnacle of your life. And yet it slipped through your fingers. At first, the sting felt unbearable, like the universe had conspired against you. But later, when you looked back, you realized that what you had lost was never truly meant for you. The job would have limited your growth. The relationship would have drained your spirit. The dream would have kept you from discovering your greater purpose. Rejection was not the end. It was the redirection that carried you towards something that fit your life more perfectly. Rejection closes the wrong doors so the right ones can open. It clears space in your life so that when the right opportunities arrive, you are ready to receive them. If every door stayed open, if every person stayed in your life, if every plan succeeded without question, you would be overcrowded, distracted, and unable to recognize what truly belongs to you. Rejection is God's way of making sure you do not settle for less than what He has prepared. It is His hand removing the counterfeit so that you will not miss the authentic. When rejection happens, it forces you to shift your perspective. Instead of clinging to what slipped away, you begin to search for what is yet to come. Instead of asking, "Why was I denied?" you begin to ask, "What am I being guided toward?" That shift of focus takes you from despair to expectation, from defeat to hope. You realize that rejection is not a curse. It is an announcement. It is heaven's way of saying, this is not your ending. This is your preparation for something more. And often the something more is far beyond what you could have asked for. Opportunities you never imagined begin to appear. Relationships that truly nourish your soul enter your path. Dreams that seemed out of reach begin to unfold in front of your eyes. None of it would have been possible had you not been redirected by rejection. What felt like a loss was actually the seed of greater gain. What felt like abandonment was actually protection. What felt like defeat was actually the setup for victory. Rejection, when seen through the right lens, becomes a teacher of hope. It whispers to you in the night, hold on, because better is coming. It lifts your eyes off what you lost and points them toward the horizon of what is yet to be revealed. It strengthens your faith, because you begin to realize that every closed door is not against you, but for you. Every ending is not a punishment, but a preparation. Every rejection is not your downfall, but your redirection.